Hello, everybody. So, welcome to the second Wings of Fire podcast, hosted by yours truly. And today we have another guest here, Shallowpond. Say hi.
Hi,
And
how are y'all?
and she was here last time when we had Sunbeam here, and she was super excited to do this. So I said, you know what? I'll bring you on. You want to be on, so I'll bring you on. I think it'd be really cool. She's been kind of like Sunbeam. She's been kind of gone for a while, but she's back now, so it's great. So let's just say hi to everyone here that typed. Animus, Maximus, hello. Mooney, how's it going? Gold the Sandwing, Shadowfang, Flash Dragon, how's it going, guys? Fandom Junkie, we got Fox the Chosen One. We got looks like that's it actually. So Max is saying I should do a face reveal. I'm not doing that. Morbid Cutie, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the podcast. As you can see at the bottom, there's a little note that says put this tab in the background and enjoy the show. Isn't going to be anything on the. Oh, SJL, how's it going, dude? I almost missed you there. How's it going, dude? But at the bottom you can see put this tab in the background and enjoy the show. This is going to be pure audio. No crazy effects. No nothing like that. Just you and me and Shallowpond, and we're all just going to sit here and talk, and it's going to be a good time. So while I was offline, we had Japhira Dragon, I believe, and that looks like it's something in the dragon language from Skyrim, but I can't pronounce it really. Sarivik di Lawao Shar Versel Thurkir Wivai. Thank you all for subscribing, to those who subscribed offline. Really appreciate that. So let's see. Gold says I got up at 7:30 a.m. to watch this. SJL is on guard as always, even though for us it is 4 in the afternoon. You're getting out of there soon, aren't you, dude? Well, just stick in there, just hang in there, and you'll be out eventually. But let's get this started. So, Shallowpond, let's talk about you. Just kind of introduce yourself and all that, and we'll start now.
Yeah. All right, I'm Shallowpond. You can pretty much call me Shallow. That's what people call me. You probably know me from DeviantArt. I've been on it for around 2 years now. I just started my Instagram account. 40 followers. Freaking awesome. I'm also setting up a Redbubble account. Hopefully that goes up soon. And
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome. So, one of the things that she is most famous for is creating the Reef Wings,
yeah,
and
my fan
and
tribe.
yes, and those have taken off, and those are going around like wildfire. Everybody loves them. So, uh, so how did you Shalfon also has Google Plus. She wanted me to
I do.
she wanted me to shout out her DeviantArt, her Instagram, and her Redbubble. So those are in the description if you want to go see them right now. Go ahead and just do whatever you must with those. Go follow her on Instagram. Go watch her on DeviantArt. Go do what you got to do. So Reef Wings. Let's talk about those for a little bit. What. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to get across really briefly is we're going to be having, as always, we're going to be having a very loose schedule. We're going to start off with introductions, which we've already started with. Then we're going to spend most of the time just talking, and then at the end we'll take a quick Q&A session. And this time I'm putting a hard limit on it. I'm saying about 15 minutes of questions at the most, and then we'll call it. So anyway, Reef Wings. What
Yeah.
got you inspired to make Reef Wings, or fan tribes in general?
Well, really, we can probably guess from Shallow Pond. I really like rain wings and sea wings.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of make a fan tribe that was similar to those two. But okay, I was like a really hardcore weeb like a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, and there was this one anime, I don't know which one it was, but the landscape had these like seaweedy things like the sails in the back of the reef wings.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, that would look cool as spikes. So I added that on my fan tribe. And yeah, I just kind of made it like it would be an evolution from a sea wing.
Okay, so it's like a progressed thing in a sense.
Yeah. Like what I was imagining is that a sea wing would go over to Olympia, which is their home island, and
Okay.
just kind of evolve.
And where is that in relation to Pyrea?
Just like far south, like farther than Pantala. Is that how you pronounce it? Pantala? I've always wanted
Pentala,
to
yeah.
say
I call
that.
it
Yeah.
Pantala instead of Pentala. or
Yeah.
Pantala. I put like a flatter A sound on it.
hmm
But Pantala is actually to the west of Pyrea.
Oh no, yeah, I know, but like distance wise,
Okay,
yeah,
so it's farther. So it's not as far south as Pantala is west.
yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. We don't want him on the freaking poles, you know.
yeah.
That wouldn't be good. But fan tribes have always been kind of a controversial thing because
Yeah, definitely.
some people say that they're great and it's cool, or some people say it's just there's too much, it just gets overwhelming. Personally, I'm kind of grieflings would die in the cold.
They
um
would.
Personally, I am kind of like in the middle between it. I don't really pick a side. I say as long as they don't really mess with the canon story, I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I feel like the anatomy has to be like relatively the same.
Yeah, you can't give them like six wings, four pairs of
Yeah.
legs, and then two heads.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't as long as it doesn't mess with the canon story, I don't care. You
Yeah.
do what you want. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, just do whatever. But another thing I want to just say to everybody is we are not going to be talking about spoilers for book 11 yet. We will on the first stream of the month, which will of the month of August, which will be 2 weeks from now, which will be August 4th. So that is something for you guys to look forward to. But for now, we can talk about book 11, but no spoilers. If you think it might be a spoiler, just don't say it. Just better safe than sorry. Don't ruin other people's experiences.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I really want to talk about book 11.
Thank
It's
God I
so
finished
good.
it. Yeah, I have not finished it yet. I have not read the third part, but
Okay.
I am slowly working on it. I'm kind of taking my time with it, as you can remember me saying.
Yeah.
Mooney says I actually got to start reading the new book. Yeah, read it because we're gonna start talking about spoilers in 2 weeks. So afterwards, I'm just gonna say, oh well. I mean, if you, I warned you guys, but I mean, go ahead and just buy the book and start reading it. It's good so far. What do you think about it?
I really love it. Like, I feel like, um, Tui, I think she did a like fabulous job on making the new tribes different, but like similar to the Pyria ones.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, and I think my favorite tribe has to be the Hive Wings. I love them so much.
Yeah, the hive wings are really interesting.
hmm
It's kind of weird though because they have so many different abilities that you can't really hone down. Like
Yeah.
rain wings have venom, sea wings have really strong tails, and they can breathe underwater. The sand wings have a venomous tail. All that stuff. Hive wings are all over the place. Some of them have like a toxic
Yeah.
gas. Some of them have stingers. Some of them have venom. Some of them, like so many different things that it's just all over the place, kind of. But I mean, I'd like more of a concrete, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, you get it.
hmm
Personally, I kind of like the hive wings too. I think that they're really interesting. But what I really like is the whole symbiotic relationship between the hive wings and the silk wings.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that. I like that it's just the silk wings do the work and the hive wings protect them.
Yeah.
It's a symbiotic relationship. It's kind of like between algae and a tree. The algae feeds off the
hmm
tree, and the tree feeds off the algae, and all that stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it almost gives it like a feel like Pantala is less organized because I feel like the tribes in Pyria are more like humans today where they're like in groups, like defined groups. But
yeah,
here there's like symbiotic relationships like you said.
moss on trees, algae. Yeah, I meant moss. I'm sorry. Uh, Thank you for correcting me, Phantom Junkie. So Aaron says I got out of WoF. You got to get back into it, dude.
Oh, get back into it.
It's good, but a lot of people fell out of it just because there was a long period of time where we didn't get a book. But it makes
Yeah.
sense because world building and it's a challenge. But um, here's another thing with it. Another interesting thing with the whole. I completely lost my train of thought.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just hold on. I just completely lost it. Oh crap. Yeah, I don't remember. That sucks. Wait, wait. No, no.
Oh dang.
I completely blanked. But it was gonna be pretty good, I think. So, I mean, it's Phantom is kind of cringe looking back at it, to be honest. I mean, I'm kind of sort of in it, but I kind of take more of a high road with it, and not in the sense of where I think I'm better than everyone else, but I organize events for other people, and
Yeah, like
you. Hmm?
this podcast, I can I just say it's amazing. Like I can see all the effort you put into it, and oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Made the thumbnail in one day,
What?
day of.
Wow.
I'm great at procrastinating. I have prior streaming experience, so that's how I was able to set this up easily.
Okay.
But the thumbnail I literally did in a day. Like it took me probably an hour and a half. but but I I really I also do the awards, the things every December, and people go crazy for it. People love it, and
Mhm.
I do that. I'm doing the podcast now. I really just organize events for other people and all that. How do you get the Waff logo PNG? Google Images. Like I just looked on Google Images and I just looked up Wings of Fire logo and someone had a black and white one. I'm like, cool. I don't remember whose it was or how they got it, but I mean, it's not a big deal because I think that account was dead for like 5 years. I don't know,
Oh.
but yeah. So yeah, you just look up there and you'll find it. But yeah. Firelord says, "Hey, how you doing, bro? It's been a hot minute. How you doing, Fire? How's it been? Welcome back to the stream." But really, when it comes to the whole found it, yeah, yeah,
Good.
yep. It's not that hard to find this stuff, but the community in general is like very young in as how it
Mhm.
used to be, because it's kind of weird. It went from a whole like young adult more like thing. You had the arena and you had characters dying left and right, and now
Yeah.
it's like you guys saw the last stream. I'm sure some of you have. If not, you can go watch it. But I said the same thing, just with the whole blood thing, and the whole blood and gore and death. And now it's a lot. It's toned down on that, and now a younger audience appeals to it. I'm gonna say this though, and I'm really going back to the whole Pantala thing.
Mhm.
50% of the stream is just because I'm trying to, at the same time as I'm saying all this, I'm trying to remember what I was trying to say earlier. I I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to remember. But I guess I can't. It is what it is.
It's fine.
Going back to the hive wing thing though,
Mhm.
Cricket.
Cricket's amazing.
I love her. She's
She's amazing.
incredible. She's a great character. I mean, what's not to love?
And like that the fact that she has glasses just makes it like 10 times better.
Yes, she's adorable. I love her. At Barnes and Noble, the Barnes and Noble is a, for those of you that don't know, I don't know if it's an international store or if it's just an American one, but at Barnes and Noble there is like a special edition of the book. They do those occasionally. So for book 5, they had a letter from Smolder to someone else about taking care of scavengers. Then in book 10, they had like what was it in book 10? It was something else. Then in Darkstalker they had another thing, and then for this they had, for the book 11, what they had was this poster. They What they did is they printed the inside cover of the hardcover book as well, to show on the top left corner there was the Wings of Fire logo, and then there was Blue, and there was also Cricket right next to him. Cricket was also there. But if you look on the normal hardcover, Cricket is not there. So that's an exclusive thing, and I just went to the bookstore, I took a picture of it, and I'm like, cool, I have this forever now. So I mean, the series is kind of interesting where it's going.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I I think I don't want to spoil anything because I kind of want to stay true to my own word, but the way it's going and the way it's being established is really. I'm in the car and the internet is too spotty. I have to keep fast forwarding. Well, at least you're still here. At least you're trying, dude, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it. But judging by how the author is carrying this out, it seems like it's going to take on a much different tone.
Mhm. Like
And
already the new book already has like a different mood than the period books.
yeah, the whole Pyrea thing and the Pantala thing, they each series or each arc rather seems to take on a different mood or somewhat or something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Like the or a different overarching theme rather. You could
Yeah.
put it that
Mhm.
way. So, for example, the first arc was fate versus free will.
Mhm.
Which of them is it better to just stick to this prophecy, which may or may not be true and they know nothing about, or do they go and make their own decisions and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, I need to buy those. I always love how some series give you extra content and lore. Yeah, there's a surprising amount of lore in this series.
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you think is interesting when it comes to the lore?
I really like how the different stories of like the relationships between dragons just interweave so perfectly. Like
Yeah,
they like you have the whole Darkstalker community, you have the Dragonets of Destiny, now you have Pantala, like but they all weave in so well.
yeah. The really interesting thing is that Pyre and Pantala interacted
Mhm.
because even in book 10 they called it the lost continent, which means
Yeah.
that it
Oh
does
yeah.
exist. That's why it's called that. That's why it's called the lost continent, because it was referred to as the lost continent.
Mhm.
So that means that they know it exists, they just don't know where it is or whatever. They just, it's just stories at this point, but they did have to have interact at some point.
Oh, I didn't notice that. It's so cool.
it's it's a lot to think about. You gotta just kind
Yeah.
of dig deeper into it and just be smarter than the author. The thing is given her audience, she's not very, she doesn't really take too good care of trying to hide stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go. The internet's getting worse, and my phone is slowly
Oh
dying.
no.
Yeah. Well, this there will be an archive here on the channel once it's done, so you can come back and watch it whenever you wish. So thank you for coming, and I'll see you later, dude. But Mooney brings up a good point. The Lost Continent dragons know the dragon language,
Yeah.
which begs the question: what is the dragon language?
Oh yeah, it's interesting.
So, I mean, is it English or is it just a completely different language? Because the obviously the old Pentallan language was not English. It's
Yeah, it wasn't.
it was just jarbled mess.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a lot to think about. But yeah, they called it the old language at the time. They called the dragon language that is used on Pyrea the old language at the time of Clearsight. That was
Whoa.
3,000 years after the scorching, which we know nothing about. So begs the question.
Oh, I wonder if the scorching has something to do with the two islands.
Oh my god, you might be right. I never thought of that. Yeah, what if instead of it being something like humans being overthrown by the dragons, what if
Yeah.
instead it's the separation of or the breaking of ties between Pantal and Pyrea? That's something I never thought of before, guys.
That would be amazing.
That would be a big turn of events, but we don't know anything about the scorching. We just know that it happened.
Hmm. I always imagined because when I read it, I thought the scorching had something to do between the sky wings and sand wings because it had something to do with fire.
Hmm. Uh, they must be in a different language, but this are set in English, so you know what they're saying.
Hmm.
So they're using English. So you're saying that they're using English like text, for instance. For instance, they're not using like Cyrillic, for instance. Um, it'd be weird if you have if you it's like you finally come across and you see Pantala, and the first thing you hear is people yelling "Sukabli" at Rushby. I mean, come on. Has anyone here played CS:GO? Come on. Um, but I think it'd be really interesting to see how these two would see. Max gets it. I see him playing CS:GO,
Oh.
but it'll be interesting to see how these two will interact, or if they interact. That is, we don't know. It's only the
Yeah.
first of the 5 books. We don't know if they will interact or not, but uh, watching CS:GO E League Australis versus C9. Shroud quit C9, didn't he? But I mean, yeah, he does battle royale now. But yeah, I think it'll be really cool. Back on the Wings of Fire subjects, though.
Hmm.
What do you think is really interesting right now with the series?
I don't know. I love how it always like brings like even within that one period of time where we didn't get a book, I felt like there was still a like we were still tugged in and waiting for the anticipation of the next book. The anticipation just never goes away with the series.
Yeah, because I think that's mainly because this 10th book was left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It was left on a cliffhanger, and we had no idea like how this would turn out, and we didn't know who this mysterious character was. And now in this next book, we might have some type of shred of what might happen. So
Hmm.
it's just something kind of interesting to think about. It's really something to really think about, and I think having that extra 6 months really let it sink in a little bit, and also
Yeah.
gave her time to world build.
Hmm.
I mean, when you think about it, it goes like this. Her production cycle goes like this. If you're going by a normal 6 months between each book, she as soon as the book is released, that gives her 6 months to write the book, which
Yeah.
and 300 pages and however many words for each page, whatever she does that, and then she sends it off to her editor, and her editor
Yeah.
goes and you know proofreads it and does all that stuff. Then she sends it back to Tui, and then Tui goes and fixes it up, sends it back to the editor, reproofreads it, and then sends it back for any final things. Then sends it off to the production company, Scholastic, or the publication company, where they mass produce the book, and there you go. That then they have a full you have a full book, and it's shipped off to stores worldwide.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a 1 year process. The first 6 months is reading, or is
Hmm.
writing, and the last 6 months are editing and publishing.
Hmm.
Um, oh my god, I found a tweet where Tui said that the Pantala dragons had pretty much forgotten their old language. They are speaking Pyrean dragon speak. Yeah, they. I heard that. The thing is that, and this isn't really a spoiler because this was said like months in advance of the 11th book even being released. Clearsight is the first Pyrean dragon to make it to Pantala in many, many, many years.
Yeah.
But the thing is she had such an impact on there that she basically became a goddess in their
Yeah.
eyes. She became like the patron saint of the Pantalan tribes. So it's she basically became a god, or a goddess rather, and she wrote a book called the Book of Clearsight, which I'm not gonna say anything about, all that only that it exists. And there's like temples built in her name, and she like instead of so the Pyrean dragons say things about the moons when they're surprised or frustrated or
Yeah.
angered or whatnot. instead of the moons, the Pantalon dragons say clear sight.
Yeah.
So, for instance, one of the most popular phrases in there is for the Pyrean dragons is "thank the moons," which
Mhm.
in our version is "thank God." So we have "thank God." They have the Pyrean dragons have "thank the moons." The Pantalon dragons have "thank clear sight,"
Yeah.
which is very interesting because now at this point she's fell into myth, and who knows what is. They don't even know if she really existed at all. These modern dragons.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of,
Also,
kind of like kind of like Jesus. You know, Jesus. We don't know. Jesus of Nazareth was a real person, and he actually lived, and he lived and died. But people don't know nowadays if he actually, ascended to godhood, basically. So I mean, you got Jesus of Nazareth was real, Muhammad was real, Abraham was real. All those people were real people, but as religious, godly figures, we don't know that.
yeah, I think it just has something to do with like their legacy and how it's told through generations.
Mm-hmm. I'm. Why is this about religion? I'm saying this about religion because we use thank God, but they use thank clear sight, and clear sight is in their eyes a goddess. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm relating it to religion. Uh, Max, just send that, just PM that to Mooney. Well, actually, she's in the server, so you can just, do that.
Also, on the connection between Pantala and Pyria, I noticed that because I was drawing a leaf wing, and I noticed that they have like the sea wing webbing
Yeah, that's
on their
true. They do.
necks.
That's true.
Oh, and also on their neck scales, they have like the Nightwing scale teardrops on their scales.
Yeah, but Clearsight didn't have a teardrop.
Yeah, I know. No, I mean like on their neck scales.
Mm. I mean, the widely accepted. Oh yeah, the widely accepted thing is that only mind readers have the scale by their
Yeah.
eye, and the future seers don't. And I've made that. I've drawn Clearsight quite a bit recently, like for
Mm-hmm.
myself. And I always put that teardrop, and then I have to correct myself because she doesn't have one. Clearsight was cool. He yote into heaven. Uh, the tribes of both continents look somewhat alike. Yeah,
Yeah, they do.
I'd say the leaf wings and sea wings look very similar. The silk wings are kind of like in a class by themselves, and the hive wings are very sandwing like.
Mm-hmm.
Fox says I gotta go, but I'll watch the rest of the stream when it comes out on vid. See ya. All right, thanks for coming by.
Bye.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate you coming here. Uh, I say we go and keep talking for probably another 15 or 20 minutes, and
Sounds good.
then we'll start the Q&A. Fox said, yeah, Fox said he's leaving, not me. I'm not going anywhere for the next few minutes. But we're at 35 minutes right now, so actually let's go for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll have that last 10 or 15 minutes to just go and do whatever.
Awesome.
Okay, so, uh, chat, what are some things you're interested in right now? Not like Q&A stuff, just like various Wings of Fire related topics, be it with the tribes or the books or whatnot. What do you think? What do you think is interesting right now, Shallowpond?
Um, all of it.
All of
I know
it.
it's real. Yeah, it's a really lazy answer, but honestly,
Max says I love Clearsight. Clearsight was a really interesting character. Fathom
I
and
feel like
Clearsight.
yeah, I feel like she's always had like a neutral personality. Like it's not like as bad as Darkstalker, but it's also not like as happy as Sunny.
Yeah. Fire you in the Hurricane Rising Discord. Yeah, if you want to go join my Discord, you can. Actually, I might just post it here if you guys want to join that. But how much longer can the series go on before it goes too far? But yeah, Clearsight is a really interesting character, but I don't know. She's kind of weird as a character.
Yeah.
She isn't really exactly like the other characters and all that, but it's weird. Here is the link, by the way. yeah, it is what it is what it is. Wondering about Peacemaker right now.
Mm.
Peacemaker's another really interesting character because I'm gonna just put a little spoiler warning because some people still have not read book 10 here. So for the next like 2 minutes, just mute or something. Hey, Base, how's it going?
Hey.
So yeah, again, spoiler warning for book 10. If you haven't read it, then mute your microphone or mute your headset for like the next 2 minutes. Peacemaker is pretty much just Darkstalker transformed back into a child,
Mm-hmm.
and he loses all of his memories and all that, and he just becomes a Rainwing Nightwing. So it's it's kind of interesting because he will never learn about Darkstalker, him being
Yeah.
Darkstalker. They Tui confirmed that no matter what, Peacemaker will never learn that he is Darkstalker and then come back up. So it'll kind of be interesting. Peacemaker, I think the author said Peacemaker will not be an important part of the series. He'll
Yeah.
either maybe show up for a few pages and then just go away, or he might just not show up at all. But I think
Mm-hmm.
he has like a really interesting future.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
like I'm actually gonna pull up his wiki page because there's a lot of really interesting stuff there.
I feel like it would be interesting to have him like a few books away, just as like a side character, just for people who remember Peacemaker,
Mm-hmm.
as like a little, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, he Here's some of the interesting things. Getting flashbacks of Hurry's old streams. Um, said I'm gonna just read this word for word from the wiki. It says,
All right.
Clear Sight loves strawberries and would eventually grow up and write a song, "Strawberries the size of a scavenger's head," which will become famous among the Nightwings and Rainwings. Uh, and another thing later on is, and this isn't from there. It's just he's gonna die happy and he's gonna get married and grow old and die in his sleep. So
Mm.
he's gonna have a pretty good life. But
Yeah.
this confirms that dragons do have an age limit.
Yep.
That was one thing I was confused about because there was this one YouTube video I saw and it was like, how far can you extend the human life? And they said
Mm.
about probably 350 years is max.
Wow.
And for a lot of scientific reasons, in very simple terms, your cells can regenerate a limited number of times. They can do it a lot. They can do it tons and tons of times, but eventually they can't do it anymore and they'll just die off permanently, and eventually all of your cells will do that. So that's why it's impossible to live beyond a certain point. So I was always wondering, how can Darkstalker, given that this exists, how can characters like Darkstalker, who his body was 2,000 years old, how is it that
Yeah.
his body could even function? It wouldn't retain the same muscle mass. He would have trouble moving at all because he'd essentially be paralyzed. How could
Yeah, that's a good point.
Darkstalker do anything? He couldn't move for thousands of years. He had basically no contact with the outside world. He had nothing. Oh, he makes his cells always alive. Yeah, I think he did make himself immortal and all
Yeah.
that, but oh yeah, apparently someone did like some other stuff and found out dragons live to like 150. The oldest dragon was like 114 as far as we know. Like if we're talking through non-magical means.
How old was Stone Mover? Did it ever say?
I don't think so, but he's not the oldest. The oldest is a
Yeah.
Rainwing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's weird kind of thinking about it. Dragons are just weird creatures in general.
Mhm.
Can we talk about how Queen Diamond was the best queen in dragon history? Uh, Particularly as a bunch of other souls we didn't know about. So, that is true. Darkstalker's viewed as a bad Durgan, but I think he was just misunderstood. He thought he was doing good for the continent, but he really wasn't. I've always liked him. Yeah, he's a pretty good character because you can see both good and bad on his side.
Mhm. I
Sombra
feel
was
like it's
about
kind of like Scar from The Lion King, because overall, he was trying to get to a good ending, but he didn't do it the right way.
yeah. Based always hated him. Let's see. So yeah, what do you so you think that Darkstalker is kind of like a good and bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said this in the last stream. I said he did the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that, like, for instance, making Arctic disembowel himself. Darkstalker to Arctic, long
Mhm.
live the king. But I think Darkstalker made Arctic, commit suicide was
Yeah.
because he was trying to protect his sister.
Mhm.
Lawful evil. Oh no, I think chaotic good. But but the thing is that Whiteout is such a interesting character, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing.
She's kind of weird, but I think that's kind of her whole character. That's kind of the
Yeah.
point. I don't know. I had a weird experience just reading about her because she was very childish for her age, I suppose.
Mhm. I feel like it brings in a good question of topic that hybrids can lead to things that aren't normal, I guess.
Exactly. There was this one,
Yeah, like
yeah,
they're not always perfect.
on a tangent about the whole hybrid thing. There was this thing I saw, and uh, it was like saying that tribrids, pure tribrids, 33 per 33.333% one tribe, 33.333 another, and 33.333 a final one is impossible. If we're talking pure math, then some guy did like advanced genetics
Yeah.
and mathematical proofs to prove that that was the case, and it's a pretty good read.
Hmm.
But Whiteout was a really nice character, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that she was kind of an adorable character, really,
Mhm.
and she was. You can't describe Whiteout
Yeah.
because she's such an abstract character. Her character is as abstract as her mind is.
And like I love her because like she doesn't have a stereotype that she fits into.
Yeah, yeah. That was my friend Cuberman. He's epic. Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but thanks for telling us, dude. But I I really like Whiteout though. I like her as a
Mhm.
character. I think she's interesting to read about and learn about, all that good stuff. But I kind of wish we had a little bit more of her. I suppose
Yeah.
the stuff that Darkstalker did for her was kind of adorable.
Mhm.
Like he knew that she liked to paint, so got her like an ink like a palette thing or whatever they're called that doesn't ever run out or go dry. And
Yeah.
then like she had a toy scavenger, and she would lose it and she would cry, so Darkstalker enchanted it so that it would return to her bed side every night. It's just adorable.
Yeah, and that proves that Darkstalker has a good side.
Yeah, he wanted to, make sure that his sister was happy and all that, and that's seriously like a such a wholesome thing. I love it.
Yeah.
Whiteout deserves a winglet. Yeah, she does.
Mhm.
She does. After the events of Darkstalker, I want to just learn more
Yeah.
about her and
I
her
know.
life. And oh man, I miss her. She was so nice and cool, but she was also a very, very good plot device.
Yes.
Her because it really she is kind of a foil character, but not really. A foil character is a character that only exists to really bring out the true character of another.
Yeah.
So for so Whiteout is a very good foil character in a sense. Darkstalker book was such a wave of emotions. It was a roller coaster, of course.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
went from happy to sad to happy to angry to happy to really sad. Ooh.
Yeah.
That that la I don't know. Darkstalker is just such a he's a tragic hero, really.
Mhm.
He had such good intentions, and all of it just went away because he became consumed by his own ride to power.
Yeah.
But Whiteout, another thing is, before Whiteout was born, in the prologue of Darkstalker, Foeslayer and Arctic are like arguing about what to name them and all that, and they have all this stuff or whatever. Darkstalker is born under the three full moons, so he gets all of the powers and all that, and he becomes an animus.
Yeah.
So then we get this whole thing, and Whiteout is not hatched yet, but she's trying to get out. And he's like, "Nah, I'll wait because she doesn't deserve to have the power too. I should be the only one." So he decides to do nothing when he could have done something. Uh, we need another Legends in general. What about the one with Clearpool too? Clearpool.
Indigo and what's his face? Fathom's child, right?
Oh, maybe. I don't remember Clearpool as a character. Let's see. Let me just look that up. Uh, yeah, the daughter of Fathom and Indigo.
Mhm.
Yep. So that's interesting. Clearpool was named after Clearsight. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
I don't think they ever talked again afterwards. I don't think they ever saw each other again because of
Mhm.
like I think Fathom and Indigo were treated to the Seawing Islands, and they just kind of lived by themselves. And then I don't know when she left, but then Clearsight leaves for Pantala immediately, and they never see each other again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm saying a lot. I need to work on that.
That's alright.
Yeah, but let's make some final points, and then we'll move on to the Q&A. Like I was saying with the whole Clearsight thing, though, or not Clearsight, Whiteout, is
Mhm.
one of the most important lines in that entire book, in the entire Darkstalker book, is from Whiteout, and she said something along the lines of, "Don't worry," and she was talking about Darkstalker. She said, "Don't worry, he's not snowing for a long time."
Mhm.
Now, I'll let you guys think about that and what that means. Don't shout out if you know Shallow, but um, I'll let you guys just think about that for like 20 seconds. Think about it. He won't snow for a while. So, basically, what I mean by that, or what it means, is Darkstalker made a thing called a Soul Reader, and the Soul Reader is pretty much determines how mentally stable he is in that time, so he knows whether to cut back on his power or if it's okay to use more of it. So the black, if the sand is black, then he's okay. But if the sand is white, that means his soul is being lost.
Yeah.
So saying that he won't snow for a while means that he will go insane soon, but it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, which is very
Oh.
very important. So Shallow, anything to say before we start the Q&A?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, so we're gonna just start the Q&A now. If you have any questions for about Wings of Fire or about her or anything related to her or whatnot, just fire away and we'll answer them for probably the next 15 minutes or so. So I'm saying at 5:05 Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna end the stream, or we're gonna end the Q&A session. So 15 minutes. Any questions that you may have, go. Now we wait. What is the meaning of life? Shallow, how did you come up with the reef wings? We said that actually at the very beginning. She wanted to have like basically an evolved version of sea wings, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah.
yeah, once the VOD is up, then you can go and watch it again. And at the very beginning, we'll talk about it. Morbid says favorite character.
Ooh.
Yeah, no problem, Base. You weren't here at the beginning. No big deal. I have a question for you, Base. What's the deal with the blackberries? You have no idea how long I've been trying to get her to answer that question. We're talking years, like literal years. Mm. Oh, I thought that was a, I thought that was like some type of internet thing. Favorite game. My favorite game is Team Fortress 2. I love TF2.
Yeah, this
I,
is gonna be cheesy, but probably Minecraft because I play it with my sister a lot.
just like 1 year. Well, still, I'm gonna just say years because it sounds better. Or worse, your pick. Team Fortress 2 is my favorite game of all time. I love Team Fortress 2. It's so much. It's like one of the best games ever made, if you ask me. It put the team-based multiplayer, uh, first-person shooter genre on the map, and it gave way to things like Overwatch and Paladins and Battleborn and things like that. Some of them flopped, like Battleborn flopped, but still it existed. How do you feel about Overwatch? Let's see. Well, let's go back actually. Who's your favorite character, Shallow?
I don't know. Right now it's probably Cricket.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What are your opinions on the Icewing Animus debate? If Icewing Animi still exists due to Snow Fox being the common ancestor, I'd say, honestly, I'd say that Icewing Animi don't exist anymore because things die out. They won't last forever. They're there and then they just go away, and over time it's just a mishmash of stuff, and I don't think that they exist anymore. And if
Yeah,
they
I
do, then
agree.
they're really good at hiding it.
Mhm.
Or maybe they just don't know. Maybe there are animi and they just don't know. The
Yeah.
Ice Wings don't. So let's see. What do you think? What do you think, Shell, about that?
I feel like it's definitely possible that anime could still be possible in Ice Wings, but it's like really rare. Cause yeah,
Yeah,
it'd be really hard to hide it.
it'd have to be rare if even existing at all. Uh, how do you feel about Overwatch?
I gotta be honest, I don't even know what Overwatch is. I just know it's a video game.
Oh, oh, Firelord. 1 second. I think this is just for me. Who do you main? I main Spy and I off class Scout. How do you feel about Overwatch? Personally, I don't like Overwatch. I've been back and forth about it, but now I just don't like it. Blizzard is not good at balancing their game. They just keep adding in like useless characters. Like there is no hey Nexus, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're actually ending in like 10 minutes, so I'm sorry that you had to show up now, but there will be a VOD up in the next few minutes, or in like probably half an hour after the stream is over. But Overwatch, they just don't know how to balance their game. They're just adding heroes that don't do anything. They're either way too overpowered or way too underpowered. They aren't ever balanced upon release. Like Sombra was retardedly underpowered, and Bridget was stupid overpowered, and they just don't know. They just don't know how to balance the game, and it's just full of BS. And I could go on for hours. I'm just tired of that game, so I just quit. How do you feel
Also,
about?
back
Hmm?
sorry, back on the favorite game topic. I'd also have to say The Last Guardian. I really like that game.
The Last Guardian? Isn't that the
Yeah.
one that had like a 10-year delay and then they finally came out with it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Here's another question. How do you feel about Fortnite?
Annoyed.
Why?
Just because all of my friends are just like hammering it down, like Fortnite, Fortnite, Fortnite.
I don't like Fortnite either.
Yeah.
I relate it to I relate it a lot to PUBG because PUBG is also one of my favorite games right now. But
Mhm.
TF2 will always be, I think, my favorite game of all time. PUBG is my favorite right now though. it's it's kind of weird because the building mechanic is fine. I don't really care about that, but when it all comes down to people just speed building as fast as humanly possible, it just gets annoying because you'll just be walking along, and then you'll see a guy, and all of a sudden he's 20 feet in the air,
Mhm.
and then it all comes down, and then there's like so many different weapons. They add weapons way too fast. There's a whole another thing every 2 weeks, and it's just a flustercuck. When's the last time you see someone use the minigun? I bet you forgot that even existed. But yeah, it's just way too much going on with it. And another thing is, while they have so many weapons, it only comes down to who has a better shotgun. The shotguns are the only ones that matter. You could take out every weapon except for the tactical shotgun, and the game would not change. It really wouldn't. It's annoying. So I'm tired of that game too. Let's see. Oh, if you don't like Fortnite, never look at my channel. Is this a game Q&A now? I guess it is. Okay, but back to Wings of Fire. Wings of Fire or Shallowpond related stuff. Q&A. We're gonna take eight more minutes on this. C9 lost. How'd it go though? Shotguns are underpowered right now. Yeah, they are. The heavy is not. The heavy is stupid. 10 pellets instead of 5. Come on, what are you thinking? Wings of Fire game? Well, depends on a lot of factors, but if that came out, I'd try it. But it's just big oof.
What kind of game would that even be?
I would assume it'd be an RPG adventure style, like kind of like
Yeah.
Spyro. I'd kind of imagine it like Spyro, but a bit
Yeah.
more mature, bit more. But it's weird. I don't know, but the chances of that happening is basically zero, and I wouldn't. I don't know. What about a TV show? Oh crap. I forgot to tell. Favorite Wings of Fire character theme. What do you mean by character theme? Like songs and things like that, or like what? I don't really understand the question. Do you?
No.
Okay, well, elaborate on the question a little bit. Uh, Morbid Cutie says, "Oh, he says about music. I don't really listen to like Wings of Fire songs, so I don't have an opinion. Yeah, you don't either.
No, not really.
I don't listen to Wings of Fire songs. It's just not something. Um, what about a TV show? Uh, half of me
I feel
says
like they'd ruin it if they did a TV show.
I would think they would too. I think half of me says it'd be really cool to see this animated. Like the graphic novel was really well done because the everybody had a direct say in it, and that was cool. But like I feel like a TV show might be a little bit worse because that is basically saying let's hand it off to an animation company and have fun. They did it with How to Train Your Dragon.
And
I
like possibly change the story completely.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. It's kind of like what they're doing with Game of Thrones. They went past. Is it
Yeah.
R.R. Tolkien that writes it? No, Tolkien writes Lord of the Rings. Martin writes Game of Thrones. Uh, but he got to a point and he stopped writing. Essentially, he's like, no, 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 guys, I promise, I'm doing it. But now that show has gotten past him, so I don't think that's yeah.
Mhm.
Me and my friend are trying to design a Wings of Fire short with Blender. Ooh, I'd like to see that.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Animus or Maximus says, "Oh, I remember the How to Train Your Dragon shows at Cartoon Network." Yeah, about that. So they had the movies, and the first and second movies were really good, and the third one has been teased, and that's coming out next year in spring, which I'm excited for. But they made a TV show, and they completely had a different plot to it. It wasn't really considered. It's not really considered canon, per se, but it could fit into that universe just fine. The thing is though is it was the same plot every episode. Oh, the intro of the first book. Oh, that'll be interesting. That'll be cool to see.
Yeah.
Uh but it had the same plot every book. It was a little bit of exposition, and then they go and they travel somewhere. Oh, look, it's a new type of dragon. Defeat it in some way, and then they go back to Burke, and they go and they do something there, and that's the episode. And there's like, typical jokes in there, and then it is what it is, but it's just the same thing every episode, and I feel like having a thing that didn't follow the storyline would just not be great.
Also, for the third installment of How to Train Your Dragon, I really don't like the Light Fury's design. Like,
Why?
it looks like a salamander. Like,
I think that's the
just,
point.
I know, I don't know. I just like it.
I think that it's kind of supposed to clash with Toothless a lot.
Yeah,
because
definitely got that.
Toothless is black with green eyes, like lime green eyes, and the Light Fury is basically the same design on paper, but it's white with like ice blue eyes, or like sky blue eyes rather. Toothless looks like a salamander. Meant to be feminine, yeah, with the eyes. Yeah, yeah, it did kind of suck though. It was just not that great. But yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't think I would like a Wings of Fire TV show. Half of me is like, it'd be cool to see these animated, but the other half was like, I think that they just go off on a tangent, and it would just be an entirely different series, and just wouldn't be good. And,
yeah, that's why I like Wings of Fire shorts, not TV shows.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they took excerpts and they made them into shorts. So, for instance, I'd love to see the first scene, like one of the scenes in the first book of all of the. This was my favorite scene. My favorite scene in the graphic novel, for instance, was when they reenacted the Sandwing War, or the Civil War. That was my favorite thing, because it was all like it was read entirely differently, and they didn't make each. They like did weird stuff, and they made fun of Starflight, and I love that. It was great. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd think I'd prefer shorts over TV shows.
Yeah, same with me.
But I think it would also be good to have them like 3D or 2D. I'd say 2D would be better, given how the show acts. And making 3D models of dragons is hard. It takes a month to make any model of dragons in Game of Thrones. A month, maybe even 2.
I also feel like Wings of Fire dragons, just when their designs aren't meant to be 3D, I think.
No, have you ever seen the German covers?
Oh no, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take one more question. I know this kind of went off in tons of tangents, and I know this went off in like weird directions, but it's a podcast. It's not supposed to really, stay on one topic for too long. So we'll take one more question. The Germans make things scary, af. Okay, so yeah, one more question, and then we're gonna call it. Anything else? It's just first come first serve. So whoever asks a question first, we'll do that. They're very detailed. Yeah. Hey, I've actually done a few head designs of Wings of Fire Dragons. I could show you if you're interested. Yeah, dude.
Definitely.
I'd love to see them. Max says favorite drink, water.
Same.
I know it's not very interesting. I just like water. What do you guys have for breakfast? Cereal. Just have cereal every morning.
I had toast with peach jam.
What's up with peaches? Everybody in peaches. I don't get it.
I love peaches so much.
I don't.
So good.
I do not. I'm not a fan of peaches. Ew, water. Yeah. No, screw you too, Max. Yeah, that's just a question that's asked every time. What did you have for breakfast? So, peaches are good. Stop it, Mooney. You're inferior. I'm just kidding. I love
peaches.
I'm just kidding. I love you. The UK covers, I don't remember. I think they're the same. Yeah, I love you too. Peaches are great. Okay. Come on. All right. Well, I think we're gonna end the podcast here. So next week we'll have another guest. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, Shall. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Do you guys have a good time here? You guys enjoy the podcast? hope you guys had a great time watching it. The VOD will be up as soon as it's done, just reprocessing and all that stuff. And go and I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad you guys had a fun time watching it. Go and find Celestial. How's it going, dude? We're actually ending the stream right now, so it's gonna be, a VOD. So in 30 minutes, the or so, it'll be uploaded. It'll be processed. It'll be ready. You guys can go and watch it back. So then you just do what you got to do. Watch it or don't. And next week we'll be on with someone new. So thank you guys for coming to the stream, and I will see you all next Saturday.